from Wish for Our Heroes, Erich Orrick is with us. Erich, how are you?
Hi, great to be on.
Well, thank you for coming on the program today, and happy Veterans Day to you. What can you tell us about Wish for Our Heroes? What's your organization all about?
Well, we're a bunch of grassroots former veterans, military members, and civilians who have banded together to. We promised each other that we would not let a veteran or military person go by that needed help. And when I say help, we mean anything from a broke-down car, a flat tire, to reuniting people like we did yesterday on the at Colts halftime. But we pretty much take care of the day-to-day activities of them. Anywhere from putting food on the tables to diapers on babies' butts.
You know, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who don't know anybody who's active duty who would say, come on, these are guys who have, these are men and women who have jobs. These are men and women who are getting a paycheck. What do you mean helping out with their car? What do you mean helping out putting food on the table?
Well, when most military people join, they don't make very much. A family of four, for instance, a junior soldier, maybe $2,500 a month, and when they have an emergency, they can't go out and just go out and get another job, or imagine being in Afghanistan and your wife is back home and she doesn't know what to do. You already live paycheck to paycheck, so we step up. We're an all-volunteer force. And we make sure that, the soldier doesn't have to worry about his family back home. But even the guy that's back home here, their car is not a Volvo. It's not a brand new 2014 model. And they have needs just like everybody else, but they don't have the other places that they can go for help that traditional American families can go. Usually you don't make very much. You don't have that much in the savings, and we don't want these families to go through catastrophic events for the lack of people being there to help them.
Erich, this is Kurt. Hey, first of all, as a veteran, thank you for what you do. I got to emphasize what you're saying. It is so important, especially when you're deployed forward and there's a family back, that warrior can focus on his or her tasks at hand. A lot of these are new to the military. A lot didn't come from wealthy families. They don't have a lot of savings often. They will build them up over time.
Right.
But as they're just starting out, one broke down spark plug, can knock an engine out.
Yeah.
And now she's got now the wife. She doesn't understand anything about the car. The car won't work. Husband's over fighting in Afghanistan. What do you do? It's great to have folks like you, Erich, stepping in and helping to solve that, not only for the families, but frankly for the military itself.
Yeah, we are, like I said, we're all volunteers, and 21 years in the Army, I retired due to injuries from Iraq. And, nobody knows the trouble that we go through than the guys that I serve with the charity with, Now, we do have our guys like George Hill from the Pacers and Pat McAfee from the Pacers and Coach Popovich from the Spurs that step up and help us. But most of all the things that we get are from, our largest contributor is usually $30-40. And we go out to Indianapolis Motor Speedway and we take a lot of troops out to sporting events to, right now the number one thing that the armed forces of the United States is fighting is PTSD and suicide. So part of our charity goes and helps the people that need help financially, but then the other part is an MWR, a morale program to get people out with their families, with their brothers and sisters, and let them be normal again. So we have a two-prong approach to helping our service members, and it's through the kindness of Americans that we were able to do this with an all-volunteer staff.
That's amazing. And as you say, the small issues can turn into bigger ones, and so to try to to help folks out when these problems are small, so that they don't become overwhelming. I think that's such an incredible mission, Erich, and again, the fact that you guys are doing this with all volunteers really is truly amazing.
Well, our ratio, and you judge every charity and every organization by numbers. Our ratio of dollars donated versus dollars going out to help people is over 95%. And what that means is we only spend money on lawyers, accountants, and insurance.
Can't get away from the lawyers, can you, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but that 95 cents on every dollar donated through our text donate program, through our website and everything. Whenever we do an event, we always try to get. For instance, the folder came today and said, "Hey, my car's broke down." Well, we're going to go look for a shop that will donate the maintenance on it, the mechanics 2 hours of labor, and then we'll buy the part. So we're always trying to figure out a better way to do things other than wasting money, because there's people out there that will help. We just have to bump into them.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, when you're dealing with individuals and saying, "Hey, look, there's a family in your community who needs this. Is there anything you can do?" Boy, that's a lot different than when you're talking about 15, 20, 30% of our veterans across the country. When you make someone a statistic, it's easier to ignore them. When someone is a person who and their kids may be going to the same school as your kids, and maybe you run into them in the grocery store, I think it's a lot easier to want to help out your neighbor, to help out that person in your community.
Yeah, Eric. First of all, I'm Army too. Thanks, and I just listening to you about seeing the problem and figuring out a way to overcome it. I mean, that's the essence of the Army. You see a challenge, and you got a leader like Eric jumping in and solving the problem, taking initiative, making it happen, taking care of soldiers. Eric, I can't tell you how proud I am of you and your folks out there. I want to emphasize one thing that often gets overlooked when you're talking about the people who come home and they're alone. The guys who are often the most alone are often the mobilized reservists, because if you're on active duty, you go back and you're with your unit, at least for a little while. When you're a reservist, you leave and you can be in the middle of nowhere with no one around you who is military. No one understands what you did or what you'd been. That happened to me when I came back from deployment in 06. I went right back into civilian society. I didn't drill for a while. And it was, and even though I had done it before, it was kind of disconcerting. I was an older established guy. I had a solid family. But those younger people that you guys are taking out to the speedway, that you're taking care of, that's so important, Eric. I urge you to keep doing it and to work with your local reserve and guard units to find those warriors and reach out to them.
Absolutely. I can tell you we're 100% on saving lives when doing this, because I'll tell you a small story here real quick. In 2009, I knew a guy that was going through a divorce. So he lost his family. He was blown up and broke his neck, so he lost his health. He was an Army airborne guy. He was very competitive, very alpha male. And then he was forced to retire, so he lost his career. Those are three things that would be suicide indicators for us as leaders to look out for. And the reason I'm telling you the story is that guy was me. And when I bumped into Jeff, our president, quite honestly, Wish for a Hero saved my life. And just a message to all those veterans out there, reservists, man. And I grab one anytime I found a veteran or a service member in trouble. I'm like, hey, you're coming out to volunteer with us for our next event, because through camaraderie and through just helping each other, that's the way out of this. Is even the guys that aren't in the uniform anymore, we grab them, we make them one of us. Come on out to the racetrack. We have for instance, the Hero Zone. It's an obstacle course for kids, but we have veterans that run it, and that gives them a purpose, and it gives them a part of the team again. And so we're out saving lives just as much as we are sending guys to racetrack, fixing their cars, putting food on the table and stuff like that. Because, it's kind of funny. The way we lead this charity is I've personally sat in my garage replacing somebody's water pump on their car rather than I could have sent the car out to get fixed. But we just don't waste the money that this great United States of people have given us when we have the right to do other things. So, it's very important to us that, some of the bigger charities where they have millions and millions of dollars that, they waste the money on these huge elaborate expense accounts. And, I'm a volunteer and I'm leading this charity. And I spend probably 40 hours a week in addition to being a dad, in addition to being I work for the Army as a civilian. So we're doing this. We're doing it the right way, the way charities are supposed to be ran. And we're we're out there fixing problems, saving lives, and we're getting bigger. And before long, you know, everybody's going to know what Wish for a Hero stands for, because we're about as pure as you can get.
Well, Eric, you know, when you start talking, I said to myself, this guy had to be airborne.
63 jumps.
All the way.
Erich, thank you so much, sir, for everything that you're doing. Thank you for everything that you have done. If folks want to help, and I know that they do, what's the website?
The website is wishforourheroes.org, or even more simple is the text to donate program we have. And our key word is you text the word America, and everybody knows how to spell America, to the number is 20222. And that's a $10 donation. And out of that, we've negotiated with the text to donate people to eliminate all fees for that. So that's free. And that's the best way to do it, to help us help our brothers and sisters in and out of uniform.
Can you give us that number one more time there, Eric? Because I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, it's 20222, and the key word is America.
All right, Erich. Kurt's doing it. I'm watching him right now.
Airborne.
Done.
Airborne all the way.
It's just that easy. Erich, thank you again, sir. Have a very happy Veterans Day, and hope we can talk again soon.
Anytime, I'm here if you need me, brothers.
Thank you. Erich Orrick with the Wish for Our Heroes. Nicely done, Colonel Schlichter.